Hi guys, what are we going to do today? Today we're going to do this fun art project. We're going to use a few different products to put this together, but it was really fun, fast, and easy. Let's get started.
So this is the board I'm going to use, and depending on how big or small of a board or a surface you're going to use will depend on how much of this wall joint tape. And it's kind of like a mesh. They use it for roofs, gutters, and walls, and it's like a joint tape. Sometimes it's a little sticky. Mine's kind of old, so it's not really sticky at all. So I'm going to cut two pieces, one for each end, and then one here and one in between here. And this cuts very, very easily. So I think I'll glue these two down, and then I'll measure out the other two. I am going to use a heavy decoupage medium, and I may add a little bit of glue into this. This will hold it. Your decoupage medium if it's a little heavier, but you kind of have to hold it down and let it really stay adhered, and you have to hold it flat till it really, really grabs. So I'm just going to add a little extra of this. So all I'm going to do is squeeze. So this is Titebond Quick and Thick, and I'm just adding a tad of this because it will grab it fast. Then I'll take my brush and take my decoupage medium and just go across this and go across this and lay these two pieces on my board. So I am going to measure how big I need from there to here. I am just going to do the center in between these pieces. I don't want to overlap them, so I'm just going to do this piece and this piece. Do the same thing, add just a tad bit of glue. Add some of my decoupage medium. And I'm lining them up just to the edge of this board. So I'm just gonna cover the whole thing with a little bit of decoupage medium. Then we are going to paint this after this dries, so we'll let this dry. So this is dry. I'm going to paint the inside of this white, and I'm using tarnished pearl. It's a little bit of a gray white, and it's my DIY paint. And I don't care if it gets on here a bit, it really doesn't matter. I'm going to be painting the outside of this black, the outside edges where the joint tape is. So when this is dry, I'm going to use my black paint, and I'm going to paint all along where the tape is and probably around the sides of this. I'm just watering down my paint a little bit. And I'm not worried if it goes in there a little bit. Okay, so we're going to let this dry real quick. So when this is dry, I'm going to do kind of a dry brush over this with white. I'm using my big stencil brush, tapping most of it off. Then I'm just going to go through like this. I may wipe some of that back. And you can see when I'm rubbing these edges, I'm getting a little black in the center here, and I kind of like that, actually. So this will dry real quick, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a sealer over it, and it's going to bring all of these colors out. We're going to let this dry, and we're going to do some decoupage. I think this is dry. This is dry now. So I'm taking my Roycycle Fall Pumpkins paper. I'm just cutting out some of the elements. I'm using some of the smaller elements for this and deciding what I'm going to want to use. I'm just going to cut out a bunch of pieces and look. I'm just going to cut these a little closer. So I started cutting these out, and I'm going to decide what I want on here, how much, how little. And then we are just going to decoupage these pieces down. So I think I'm just gonna decoupage these down. I'm gonna do first is, I'm gonna do my friend right here. I'm just gonna kinda go over this a bit, let this dry, and then we'll move on. So everything's dry on this, so I'm just gonna add a little more interest by using my Vintage Textures, one of my stamps from that, and some black ink, and I'm just gonna go over this just a little bit. I like that. I really like that. We'll seal it one last time here, and then we are done. So I'm going to use my sealer again and just do one last coat of a seal over the whole piece. And we're going to let this dry, and we are done.
So I hope you felt like this really was a fun, fast project. Some simple things that you can pick up, and they are not expensive, and you can put it over anything. And you can see the fall pumpkins, my recycle paper. This one right here, I used the big pumpkins out of it. So I had to use a little more of the tape on this one, but it worked out really cool, and it was really easy. Hope you guys give this a try, but whatever you do, have fun.